What's up, y'all? It is Lady Di and
The Real Precious. How y'all doing?
how y'all doing today on a Wednesday? We know we're seven-ish trying to make it and everything. But we're here. We're here. And tonight we have a great topic to discuss. And it's just something that I've been thinking about lately. So I've been seeing a lot of men seem like they want to conform with what women want, which is equality. And they'll say remarks like, "Well, this is what they want, so we're going to give it to them," basically. And I disagree. I am not with that. What about you, Precious? What are your thoughts just on that alone?
I disagree only because I agree a little bit and I disagree mostly, right? So I agree a little bit because there are some people that just will not learn. They will not be teachable. They will always try to combat you. They will always try to prove that they're right. And for those people it's like, okay, you're going to have to bump your head a little harder, or you're going to have to learn. Like, I can't lead you. There are some people who just can't be led because they choose not to be led. But for those men who choose to, there are some men who choose to follow because they don't want the responsibility of leading. And I think that's different than knowing that someone is just blatant out don't want to be led. They're not trainable. They don't want to listen. They don't have your best interest at heart when it comes to certain situations, and so they disrespect you. So I think that there's a difference between the two.
Yeah, there is. So we're going to get into all of that today. And let's just get straight to it. So I have a warm-up video and we're going to get into that. And it's simply just interview. It's a quick clip, but it's an interview of a man kind of like on a speed dating type. Or you know how these shows where they have women come and meet the man and they like ask them questions. So it's something like that. So let's get
Yeah.
into it.
Hi, my name is Love.
Like Love?
Yes, that's my name.
If you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
How old do I look?
I don't want to start with lying and pretending like to just to win you over, you know. So I'd rather be honest with you. And yeah, you look about 40.
No way. I'm 28.
So that it's just basically, men telling the truth. And that's what I want to talk about. It seems like men don't tell the truth no more. They just trying to make sure that they're on the same page with us women. And I'm like, no, you should always tell the truth, because how are you going to get what you want out of the situation or out of the relationship? Because if not, it's always going to be like, the happy wife, happy life situation.
Right.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's something about a man who lies because he doesn't want to hurt the feelings of the woman, or a man who lies because he knows, again, it's easier. You don't want to hold that responsibility of the truth being uncomfortable.
Right.
And a lot you have to be uncomfortable to grow, right? So I think that men have to stand in their truth. I always say this: men, you are the creators of your own world. Just like God created the universe, you create your own world. So why would you want to be in a world where you are lying and pacifying someone, unless you have the intent to manipulate, unless you have the intent to use, the person that you're with.
Yeah.
So you have to hold space for it to be a little uncomfortable, but to always tell the truth, because men talk about women wanting them for their money as if feelings for them are fake, right? So we would need men to tell us the truth, because otherwise you would be with us to be physically pleased, but not because you want to become one with us.
Mm.
So telling the truth is very important. And I think that maybe the problem could be that men don't want to say it in a way that they think that is good. They're like, oh, she's not going to be able to handle that. Or, maybe they don't feel comfortable telling her the truth in a certain way. And all I say to that is, you have to practice those things, or you have to, get with someone who likes to talk. And when I say get with someone, again, maybe a licensed therapist. We know men don't necessarily like to go see those. So, maybe a trusted friend that, is going to give you suggestions and ways of communicating, so you don't feel like you're out there on the island by yourself. And I think sometimes men don't take the responsibility because they feel like they're on the island all by themselves, in which most times they are, right? And so you need to have someone in your corner that's going to be able to, want to be there for you to help you with those things, because we're helpmates. So whether it is your boys, or whether it is your trusted a friend, or someone who can see things from a female perspective, someone that's going to help you along so you get the betterment of what you need, instead of you feeling stuck and not being able to do it, and then cheating the person that you're with out of what they need. You know what I mean? So
Yes, you hit a lot of great points. But before we continue, let's get into the chat. We appreciate everyone for stopping by. So, American Negro, thanks for being here. CBN, hey, how are you? You're always supporting for sure. Christopher, thank you so much. One second. Okay, and we have Marcus. Hey, Marcus, how are you? Ricky, what's up? What's up? Sorry, I muted you. My bad. And then we have Black Lexicon. How are you?
who was 19?
It's about Mr. Lego. Who we talking about? Mr. Lego. Shout out to Mr. Lego. And we have Blaze in the building. Thanks for being here once again. And Red Lipstick. Hey, hey. And then we have a Darnell Lucas.
Hey, Darnell.
From, I think, yes. So thanks for being here, you guys. So my question for you, Precious, is, has a man ever told you the truth?
Mm-hmm.
Like something that you weren't expecting. So maybe like a hurtful truth. Has a man ever told you the truth, and how did you take it? Not you now. Okay.
The first time I took the advice of a man, and when he told me the truth, was when I was dating someone, and he was like, "You seem a little angry. Like I had mouth on me. I was angry. I didn't have a hold of my emotions. I was up one day, down one day. Like, it was just very sporadic." And he was like, "I think you need to go talk to somebody." And I was like, "You right. I do need to go talk to somebody. I need to go talk to somebody." Because I just couldn't regulate my emotions. Like, I couldn't do it on my own. And so he went with me to go find a therapist, and like I went to different ones until I found someone that I was comfortable with. But I had to listen to the truth. Like, I had to listen to the truth. I couldn't ignore it and say, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm not going to go see nobody," or I don't need nobody all up in my business. No, I was very open to getting my emotions under control. I needed to do that.
So it seemed like you was already at a breaking point. And sorry, Trey, I saw you, but I didn't click on you. what's up? And
Hey, Trey.
I'm gonna get to your comment in a minute because you one of them ones. You hear me? But now I'm playing. So you already hit your breaking point at that moment. But before you reach, because see, you already was aware that you had to get your emotions in check. But sometimes ladies are not aware, you know, of let's say a man corrects them. They're like, that's not true. So did you have a moment where it was like that at one point in your life? And you're like, I ain't gonna listen to you, whatever, you know.
Oh, I had plenty of moments like that with my parents. I mean, I would just keep it real with you. Because again, those who don't know, I was adopted. And so, you know, I'm my parents are not my biological parents. And so there was a lot of difference. And it was a lot of, I'm not going to listen to you, like naturally a lot of, I'm not going to listen to you. You know, that attitude of, you don't know me. Like,
Right.
you don't know me. Like, you really don't know me. Like, that's the truth of it all.
Right.
But knowing how to communicate that was hard. It was difficult. I didn't know the words. I didn't know, you know, all I knew was anger. That's all I knew. So that came out a lot then. Oh yes, it did.
Yeah.
That's where it started.
That's where it started. I agree with that. So let me think of a time. So for me, when a guy ever told, so I think kind of the same, like in New York, you know, walking the street and someone was like, why you look so angry? You know, why you don't have a smile on your face? That type of thing.
That's the persona like all New York girls get though. Like New York or like up north girls. Like it's always, why you look so angry? Why can't you smile, shorty?
That's true. But see, I wasn't really aware of that. It was kind of like, what you mean? Am I supposed to smile walking?
Right,
like,
right.
That was kind of how my first response was. And then I got it again, you know, sometime later. And I was like, if one more person say this to me. So I was like, well, obviously, even though they're strangers, they're still making a point because it's not just one stranger. It was many.
Many, right.
So then I was like, so then I asked the guy. So usually I would be like, yeah, whatever. Have a good day, right? But this time I asked the guy, I said, so what do you want me to do? Smile walking down the street? And then he was like, no, just look more pleasant, look approachable. And I was like, you know, and I said, okay, thank you, right? And then I started smiling because it was kind of like, okay, so I get what you're saying. I may not look approachable or I don't look nice. So that was the very first time. I think I was like 18, 19. And that was the first time I heard some type of truth. Growing up, you know, my dad kind of like, he already was telling me, you know, things, you know, helping raise me, but it's different when you're outside and you're by yourself and you're with men. So that's when I first discovered truth.
Right.
But not too many men was doing it. That's what I'm saying.
No, child. I experienced it in the home, and my dad had to correct, and more correct me. Because outside of my adopted family, I wasn't in a home with two parents, so I know both sides. You know what I mean? So I couldn't imagine if my mom and dad didn't raise me, like how I would be, like my temperament, and if I would be able to control my emotions, if I would be able to notice that I needed to do that and really be open to it.
That's a good point.
So yeah, it happened at a younger age for me.
Okay, so I wanted to share another video, another one more video, then I have a follow-up question with that. So let's get into it.
Relationship.
My long relationship is 8 years.
8 years, and what happened?
I cheated on him.
Okay, so that was quick, but the point was he's listening to a video of a lady saying she was with a man for 8 years, and then he was, you know, if he was going to propose, he's going to throw it out the window because she's no good. But why are we taking negative situations and relating it to our real life? Right? So the question is, do you think most men are afraid to have an exclusive relationship with women today?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I definitely think they're afraid. And there are some that will push past that fear. So I'm not saying that men are so afraid that they're gonna be stagnant or that they're not going to do it. I'm just saying that the initial feeling going towards a monogamous long term lifelong relationship, I think fear is probably the first emotion before excitement. If they were to be honest, but then again, I don't know. I'm not a man, but I just because of how relationships are portrayed and how the programming of family is just that, you may see a sprinkle here, a sprinkle there of people getting married and having families, but the initial portrayal of families is, mom shaking booty, having your kids singing sexy red lyrics. Like, that's the conditioning that's happening. And if a man is attached to that and that's all he's seeing and that's all he's consuming, then his first reaction to something like that would be fear.
Yeah.
And so that's why you can't follow the crowd, right? Social media is the crowd. Social media is that programming that says, stay here. I know what you like and I'm going to feed it to you. No, you have to pull away from that and not, you know, be fearful for that of doing that, or your mind has to be conditioned totally different than an algorithm.
That's a good point, because if we all just lived in fear, it's a lot of things we shouldn't be doing, like driving,
Mm-hmm.
getting on an airplane. And there's some people that wouldn't go on an airplane because of the fear. But we can't live like that. So what's up, Marcus? I would leave it. Say that right? Yes. How are you
Yeah.
doing?
Mm-hmm.
Discuss with Chuck. Hey. And what's up, Kasim? How are you? He says women like to be in control because it doesn't require her to be corrected.
Mm.
That's valid. Yeah, because
But even if a woman is in control, she has to realize that she has to be corrected, though. like you're not perfect, you know what I mean? So there is somebody that you're answering to. The question is, who is that person that you're answering to? Because even if you are in control, and I know he's talking about as far as the man and woman dynamic, but let's just take that, relationship and put it to the side. If a woman is in control, she is still answering to someone.
Well, yeah, in a relationship though, it depends, right? So as far as like what's going on, as far as like the issues that's going on, if a lady is the boss, because that's kind of what I'm hearing. It's like she wants to be the boss. He has to sit on the side. She runs the show. He's just a puppet, right? So with that, it's not too much correction that can happen if she's running the show. She's the one like making the moves. So I get where that analogy will come into play. But then it's kind of like robotic. You can't have a relationship like that. Even when men are in lead, women still have their opinion, and they, are in a healthy relationship. They are able to say their opinion. Now, men leading with the decision they're choosing based off of what his wife or his girl is saying is just in consideration, but at least that person has something to say. Like, they're not robotic. Sometimes women, they don't like men speaking at all. You can't say nothing. And if you do, it's like they start belittling them. And it's like, that's not how it's supposed to go. If you want to sit here and be lead of something, you don't have to belittle somebody. You just have to talk with respect and get your points across. You don't have to look at them like they're less than. And that's the difference between women and men. Men won't look at a lady as less than, but women do it all the time. And I never got that. I don't know why that is something that women choose to do. But I think it kind of stems with the equality situation. They're trying to be better than something, better than the man. when it's not about better. It's if you could do it, do it. But you can't say you're better or equal to, because that's very different. So yeah. Thanks for bringing that out.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Yes. And we have a guest today. His name is Vax. Put a thumb up if you're ready when you're ready. Okay. All right. We have Misery Loves Company. You can't live you can't live a great life with fear. Yes. And then Trey says, we're not scared. We look at probable outcomes and risks. It doesn't make sense anymore, considering modern women will admit indefinitely on social media.
Yeah, but so it's we're not scared, right? We look at the probable outcomes and risks, which is true. I can understand that. It doesn't make sense anymore, considering modern women will admit infidelity on social media. So these are the comments that young men may see, right? And so you read that comment and you're like, oh, well, men aren't scared. Okay, you're not scared. But you're also basing your reasoning off of modern women and not really getting to know someone to change that notion of what you have in your mind. When you read something like that, it's like your mind is not changing. Your mind is made up. Right? So are you following or are you leading? Because if you're following behind the modern woman, then you're never going to be you're never going to want to get married, because that's the modern woman's agenda, right? So are you following the modern women who don't want to be married? Are you going after women who want something, who do want to be married, and who want to go in that direction? So that's an example of following, because at the end of the day, somebody might read that and might be like, yo, he right. Like these women out here, and it's like, but those are the women that you're seeing. Are you seeking elsewhere? Are you trying to get out of the pool of the modern woman, or will the modern woman always be the excuse of why you don't want to be married?
Okay, yes. So that's a great point. Vax, if you're ready, put a thumb up or wave. Can you hear me? Wave your hand if you're ready. All right. Okay, so we have a caller, you guys, and let's bring them up. All right, there we go. Hey,
yo. Greetings, ladies. How y'all feeling?
Greetings to you, Vax.
Say that again.
Have you been listening? Oh,
I can hear y'all. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can
All
hear
right.
you.
How y'all doing? Happy, what's today? Wednesday?
Yep.
Yeah, today Wednesday. What's up? Happy Wednesday. What's poppin'?
What's poppin'? All right. So have you been listening?
I love your platform.
Say it again.
I said I like your platform. I like what you're doing. I like what you and your husband be representing. So shout out to y'all. You know, shout out to Black Love. You know, I feel like when we don't worry about a lot of the stigmas in the world, I feel like we can be productive. But I feel like society is like doing a good job of tearing us apart. And I feel like we got to learn to rise above that, because I feel like that's the goal. I feel like they know how powerful Black men and Black women are together. And I feel like we play a part in our demise too by subjecting ourselves to a lot of the societal norms that I really don't think affect us. I feel like it's a lot of projection. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I just wanted to give y'all salutations. Hello, Miss Real Precious. How you doing? Can I close this right quick?
I'm well, thank you.
All right. Well, thanks for being here. You got here just on time, because I'm going to bring up one of the posts that you actually responded to, and I reposted it. So I want to hear your actual insight on that. Okay. Okay. Can y'all see that? Well, it says, what are your thoughts? I make 180K and my girlfriend makes 40K. how should we split our 3,000 rents? Obviously not 50-50 because she simply can't afford it. But what is a fair split? What is a fair decision? Okay, so that's what that's saying. Now, you responded to that, and I want to hear your thoughts, sir. So, what don't you like about it? What do you like about it? And do you agree?
So first of all, I hate the 50-50 argument. What's funny is I got my brother right here. He's actually married. So when I showed him this post, I asked him about those certain things. So everybody's perspective is different. But I personally, I don't even like the 50-50 argument because I feel like it cancels out what somebody would do genuinely. You get what I'm saying? It's like, oh, holding over, well, I did this and well, I did this. And it's like, then it becomes, part of my language, but it becomes a dick swinging contest. It's like, oh, you know what I'm saying? And I don't like that because I feel like it strips the relationship of the genuity that relationships could have. If I love you, I'm gonna want to do for you. As a man, it's my due diligence to provide and put you in a place of comfort. That's where women reign supreme. You put her in a place where she can reign. She's gonna, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna reap the benefits of that. It's up to the man to be able to protect and provide. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to that type of subject right there, I feel like if you're not married, I don't feel like you should live together. I feel like I should be able to see you have your own stability by yourself. I show you that I have my own stability by myself. And then when we come together, we have stability together. You get what I'm saying? It's a lot of people out here that are in relationships and they living together because, hell, they might not be able to get a lease by themselves. You know what I'm saying? They might not be able to handle stuff by themselves and that. Like, these are things that you have to see before you jump into a relationship like that. If she's your wife, of course I'm going to pay the bills. If I'm making $120,000 and you ain't making the same type of money I'm doing, like, of course I'm going to pay all the mortgage, but that doesn't mean that you can't provide in other ways. Like, you can maybe get the groceries, or maybe, you know what I'm saying? There's other ways that you can contribute depending on the relationship that you and your lady talk about, the things that you communicate. Like I said, I just asked my brother the same thing. He's been married for 12 years. I said, when you and your girl got together, how was it? Did you all just live together right away? He said, no. She had her place. I had my place. We saw how each other were in the building stages. And once we come together, and they've been together 12 years now, it's no problem. So I just feel like it depends on the maturity level of the person that you're dealing with and your ideas and just the things that you actually want in your relationship. But like I said, I just feel like that 50-50 stuff, man, that shit is just stupid. Because if I care about a woman, I'm going to want to do for her. You know what I'm saying? And it's really that simple. And then if you want to do for your woman, you're going to do for her. Ain't nobody going to stop that. And ain't no societal norms going to stop that. So, you know, when a man has money, he wants to take care of his family. I don't know any man that gets money and then all of a sudden he's like, no, this is my money and you don't get none of it. Like, that ain't the way that men operate, especially if they actually got it like that. It ain't nothing to them. You know what I'm saying? So, but like I said on the portion before where I said that she needs to have her own space and he needs to have his own space, I do believe that is essential for the simple fact that I need to see how you are without me. Because if I fall off, can you hold it down? Can you hold it down at least for yourself? Not even for me, but can you hold it down for yourself? I don't want anybody that has to depend on me like a stepchild. You know what I'm saying? I want you to be able to be a woman and be on your own shit. I'm a man, I'm on my own shit. And when we come together, we do it big together. You know what I'm saying? So
you don't believe in a lady being a stay-at-home mother, housewife?
I mean, if we don't have any kids, hell no, you better get your ass up and go to work. What the hell you staying in the house for if we ain't got no kids?
Okay, wait. All right, I got that. But all right, forget no kids. With the child, she is at home. She does not work. She doesn't work. She doesn't bring any income in. All right, because if she doesn't bring any income in and she's taking care of the kids, then how would she be able to, you know, if something was to go down, how is she going to be able to hold the fork down? How is she going to be able to pay for the bills? Because with your philosophy, you know, would that work in that situation? Because there are women who stay home and they don't bring any income and the man is providing everything. So what happens with that?
Yeah, that's fine. If I have children and we're just, you know what I'm saying, for conversational purposes, yeah, with my children, of course I want you in the home. That's where the woman's power is. It's rearing the children. You are your child's first teacher. If I don't put you in a place where you are comfortable with doing that. And my children are not gonna be productive people in society. I want my children to be the best children. So of course I want my woman to be a stay-at-home mother, rear our children. And you're not doing it alone anyway. I know I'm out here chasing the bag and making sure that stuff is straight, but I'm gonna be right there with you because they're our children. They're not your children. You will spend time with them. I will spend time with them, and we'll spend time with them together. But yeah, back to that, if you don't got no kids, hell yeah, I want you to go out here and work too. And it's not for the simple fact that I want you to go out here and contribute to the home, but I want to see that my woman has drive like an intrepid. She can go out here and chase her dreams. She has other things that she's building towards and stepping stones and goals that she still wants to accomplish, even though I am in her life. You know what I'm saying? So it's not necessarily about money. Like I said, men just still want to be able to have a smart woman, a woman that's hungry, a woman that's ambitious as well. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I get that.
Yeah.
I
I don't want you out here like, nah, I'm gonna go get it. But you know, if it was to happen, I want to know that you got the same, you hungry and want to go get it as well, or you can.
Or you, there we go. That's what I was looking for. Or you can.
Yeah, or you can. I'm not forcing you, but you know, you get what I'm saying. That's just what partnership is. It's just like where I lack, you pick up. Where you lack, I pick up. Because there's things that men can do that women are necessary. There's stuff that I can do that my woman might not be able to do. And there's things that my woman can do that I might not be good at. You know what I'm saying? So where I lack, you pick up. Where you lack, I pick up. That's the beauty and essence of teamwork. And like I said, nowadays with the way the society projects things, you know, they project all this. Oh, women are independent, woo, woo, woo. And all right, that's cool. But if you stay in that room, be sure that you're ready for what comes with that. Because what comes with that independent and woo, 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 you don't need a man shit, it doesn't come with sympathy. It comes with... My bad, I'm back. Somebody keep calling me. But like I said, just know that if you stay in that realm and you call yourself independent and you want to jump on that feminist bandwagon, that you're ready to handle the bandwidth that come with that. Because it comes with no sympathy. It comes with lacing them boots up and having to go get it. It doesn't come with staying at home and being a traditional woman, because that's not what that stuff comes with. You understand? So don't bite off more than you can chew and then end up out here mad at the stuff that you chose. You know what I'm saying? So women got to understand that too, because men, we see that, right? And if you want to be one of those women that want to be in the workforce and want to get your masculinity up, then just know that's what it come with. It come with, hey, I'm out the house at 7. You out the house at 7 too. I'm doing this, you doing that too. Hey, I'm paying 50-50, you paying 50-50 too. That's what it come with. So if you want to be a traditional woman, understand that you have to have those core traditional values. And if your man sees that, he's going to make sure that you reap the benefits of just what you're talking. But don't bite off more than you can chew. And you know, my ladies, that there are a lot of women out here that are biting off more than they can chew. And they see the game and then they want to complain afterwards. But it's just like, hey, don't follow nobody else's wave and you won't have that problem. Because if they know their history, they know that feminism and being independent, that's a white woman's struggle. That was never a black woman's struggle. You understand me? Black women always work, but they always got respect. So, you know.
Okay. All right. 1 second back. So Matt, thank you so much for sending in a super chat. So shout out to two beautiful ladies. Love what you and Miss Di definitely got to support.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Y'all can hear me?
Yes.
I can't hear y'all.
Okay. Can you hear us now?
I don't know why I can't hear y'all right quick. Hold on. Let me leave.
Okay. What's up, world class? How are you? How you doing? Ooh, he said a lot there.
He did. I did want to respond to something he said there.
Yeah. All right, we got This Might Be Risky in the building. What's up, Hamp?
Hey, Hamp. Hey, Hank. Hamp and Hank.
Right. One pot, yes. Okay, sir. One pot. We hear you loud and clear. Quincy, thanks for stopping by. And let's see. Let me put him back up. Precious, he's about to come up.
My bad. I don't know. People keep calling me, man. They want to call me while I'm talking to y'all. Like, relax.
Okay, so Precious has a question for you.
What's up,
Well, not
Precious?
necessarily a question. I think, and this is just to whoever's watching and whoever wants to, listen to this perspective. But I think that's why it's so important. They always say your life partner is the most important person or important decision that you're going to make. And as far as men and working and women working, Lady Di had asked the question, well, if she's not working, how is she going to provide? How is she going to help you? And I think that some men don't understand that your purpose is really to know your woman and her strengths and where she is strong, so that the well will never run dry, because she's so natural in what she does. She's so, what she does, she's resourceful. And because she's resourceful, and because it will be in demand, and because she is good at it, whatever it is that she does, she'll always have work. It don't necessarily have to be at a 9 to 5 or an accountant office or whatever. And I think that a lot of people think that 9 to 5 life, and of course you need it to sustain and you need it to pay your bills and things like that. I'm not negating that. But what I'm saying is a lot of people don't use their God-given talent, so it then can bring them an endless supply of income for the home. And that's what we are supposed to do. And so I believe that a great man would be able to point out those things. And the woman does have to be, someone who's able to listen, because he's supposed to train you. He's supposed to be able to say, these are your strengths. This is where you're going to be good at. This is where I can use you. This is where you'll flourish and then will flourish. That is what, the work that the woman should be looking for. Because she could go work at 9 to 5 and you could go out of the house at 8 o'clock and she can leave at 8 o'clock too. But when she coming home, she still is irritated because of something that happened at work. And then you get and men get in the way of like, how can I comfort her about something that happened at work? I truly don't care. It happened at your job. But if it was something for the business, and if it was something, and I'm not saying he shouldn't care, he should, but it would mean more if we talking about our business. It would mean more if I'm still delegating and leading you to where I see now your downfall, and maybe I got to pick up your temperament about that. You know what I mean? So I think that we need more of that. We need more men cultivating women and loving on them and putting them in the positions. And I'm not talking about the modern women that Trey talking about, but someone that that you can work with. And I know that may be far and few between, but again, that's the responsibility. And we were talking about that earlier when we started the show. That's the responsibility of a man who wants to be with a good woman and build.
And now I agree with you. And a lot of that comes with also vetting your partner as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people don't really actually know who their partner is. Like, they get in relationships so quick and so fast, and they just want to jump into it maybe because the sex is good, or just because, they're lonely. A lot of people don't really got that wherewithal to be by themselves and actually like subtract their lust and things like that, so they can actually really get to know their partner and things like that. Then later on down the line, when situations come about, then they're like, oh, well, this person is different than who they were when I first met them, or this and that. And so, like, I agree with you. I mean, I see it that way too. I feel like if you want the best out your woman, a man is gonna start a business or something, so that his woman necessarily doesn't have to go to work for somebody else. Your woman is pouring into you all's business. That's gonna bring you all tighter. That's gonna make your bond tighter anyway. You're building up your own fortress rather than putting time in to build up somebody else's. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I agree with that. But like you said, a lot of a main important part is also the woman being able to actually listen to her man and actually take heed to what he's trying to put together, or take heed to what he's trying to tell her too. Because at the end of the day, that's the man that you chose. That was your leader. That's the guy that you chose to lead you. So if that's who you choose to lead you, pardon me, ladies. If that's the person that you chose to lead you, then, you know what I'm saying, don't give a lot of pushback. I mean, but you should be able to respect each other's opinions and be able to give, just ideas, or if something's not working, you know what I'm saying, you should be able to find it in your heart to respect each other. But like I said, I really don't think partnership is that hard. I just think that people just got to vet the right person and want to put their best foot forward and don't make it like a I'm above you type of thing. And I just feel like when it's in conversation with like money and 50-50 and stuff like that, it strips the genuity of the relationship and what could be. And I don't really personally like that stuff because I think that black men and black women are very powerful together. Like I said, the world knows that. And I really don't think we're as bad as the media portrays, but
Yes,
we all know that he who controls the narrative controls the world. You know what I'm saying?
We are bad as hell. We're bad. And the
You
reason
think
why,
so?
yes, of course.
I think that it's just about what's broadcasted, though. I really don't think, like I don't know any men that don't take care of their kids, right? I don't know any.
That part.
I don't know any men that don't take care of their kids. I really don't know a lot of ratchet women that are out here presenting themselves the way that we see on the internet like that. Where I'm at, I don't really see it like that. I see it more on the internet than I do in person. All the stuff that these women say about being independent and stuff, I see that stuff more on the internet than I see in person. I don't really see it like that. You know what I'm saying?
So you telling me that out of all the women you know right now, all of them are in a successful, non-toxic relationship?
Hell no, I ain't say that.
All right.
Okay, so problem number one.
That's problem one. Hold on. So we don't want to go too extreme. I do like the point that you made about the fathers. That, yes, they're acting like there's a lot of deadbeat dads out there. No, that is not true.
Oh, yeah, we know that.
We're talking about as a whole. Like, as a whole, we're doing bad. And the fact that you was able to answer that question and say, oh, hell nah, that shows that there is struggle out here. People are not understanding. They're not listening. They're not able to get together. And the main reason is because you want your lady to be traditional. Because if you have a traditional minded woman, then when she's working, she know that her check and your check is going to be on one bank account. She know that she still has to make sure she is being a lady by cooking and cleaning and doing the things that happens. Not saying you can't help, but she know these are the things that she's supposed to do. But what's happening is there's women out here that they want to do 50-50. They want to do partnership, but they want to act like a man. And that's what this topic is about. We're talking about equality. Women want equality and men want to give it to them. So that post that I showed you, right? The guy basically, let me bring it back up again. So right here, I'm sorry, hold on. We're going to get into that. So this post right here, okay, the guy is basically saying he makes $180K a year. After taxes might be like 125. And his lady makes 40, right? After taxes might be 35. But he's wanting to split 50-50 with that. And I disagree. You cannot split that. I mean, you can, right?
You gotta prorate it.
Groceries, she could make little bills, but technically, I don't really like that question because it's like, why are you even looking at her for that? First of all, you should try to upgrade her in the sense of if you're making that much, why isn't she making close to it? Meaning, like, obviously, that's two different income tax brackets, right? That means you're working at a very high-end corporate job and she's working at a very low. So I'm looking at status as far as like, why is she working? I made a point about why is she working, let's say, at a fast food restaurant. She's like a store manager, right? Not saying there's nothing wrong with that. I'm saying that he's not working at those type of places, right? But she is. So I believe that people should still be kind of in line. If you're not at home taking care of the kids, right? You rest in your femininity at home. But if you're going to go out to the workplace and your man is making 180, like your husband making 180, y'all should be getting close to it.
But see, you flipped it, right? Because this post says I make 180 and my girlfriend, see, that's where they lose me at, right? Because it ain't my wife. So if it ain't my wife, I don't give a damn what you make. You're going to pay half of this rent because you ain't my wife. When you my wife, keep your little bit of money. I got it. But until you're my wife, you're going to open up that wallet like Capital One and what's in there. And we're going to see what's in there because we both in this bit. You ain't done. Look, you become my wife. Am I wrong, cuz? You become my wife, keep your little bread. I want you to save your money. Or better yet, when you become my wife, our money is our money. But until then, split it.
Okay, so you okay for a girlfriend, I can see that. But for a wife, believe that
I'm not giving no girlfriend wifey stuff. I'm not doing it. I'm not giving you wifey stuff.
So that's another point, and I could get into that. But as far as a husband and wife, I look at them not as an equal, but I believe like it's a certain level in the workforce, right?
I agree.
And if a man is at this peak, right? A peak 180 is a lot to me for a man out there. To be at that peak and to have his woman working at a place that's way under that, to me looks a little silly. Like that's like having you are a parent, right? Let's say you're a parent, you have kids, you're skinny and your kids are fat. That don't look right. You understand? And it should look a certain way of a certain level. Because it's like, why is she working that type of job and you're working this type of job? It's a very different high level status to me. So I believe that that should be close to it, not to be equal though. But Precious, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, girlfriend throws it off because if he split the rent, then maybe they shouldn't be living together. Maybe he should just stay where he would like to stay because he can afford it, and she should stay where she can stay because she can afford it. And if
Exactly what I said.
and if you are going to split it, if she can't do it 50-50, then you already know that you would be taking on majority of the financial responsibility. So as a man, you have to ask yourself, do I want to take on this responsibility? And if it's not someone that you are going to marry and you've made up in your mind that you want to marry this woman, I think that if you made up in your mind you wanted to marry this woman, you wouldn't be asking this question. You would sit down with her and you would say, this is what I'm taking care of, and this is what I need you to take care of. Period.
See, I can hear your perspective, but you're not a man though. You feel me? So you speaking on what you think a man would say, and I'm a man, and I'm telling you, it ain't gonna work like
No,
that.
but all I'm saying is that a man who knows what he wants is going to say what he wants. It's
I
like
can
write
still
the
want you.
vision, make it plain. So if that's what you want, say that's what you want. If she's not, and that if she doesn't fit that, then she can't follow in your leadership because you stated at the beginning that that's what it was.
Like, so
I'm hearing
for
you.
me, I think that men and women, if you are in a serious relationship, I'm not saying you just met somebody and you like, you know, the first couple months y'all crazy as hell moving together and then y'all trying to split bills. No, somebody that you look at as a wife, maybe
Right.
one day, right? Somebody that you can see yourself with when you're old having kids. When you're at that level in a relationship, I think that men and women should act like a husband, act like a wife. You got to do that because, for example, let's say you, Vax, right? Let's say you was with somebody exclusively in that way, and she never showed you how she could be a wife to you, and you going off of you already got to risk it to marry, right? But then you don't even know what she could offer. So you all the like it's kind of like you going blind. She's cute, you know. If y'all having sex, good sex. You know, she know how to conduct herself. She's responsible, right? Because you say you want her to be able to maintain herself financially in her own spot. She's showing you all that stuff. But none of that stuff has nothing to do with marriage. None of it. So if you don't, you know, you got to kind of be a husband, be a wife, and then you propose, right? Because you're practicing, you understand, okay, this is what it's going to look like. And then you propose to that woman. You don't just propose to any lady. You propose to that specific one. And then you have more success like that. Everybody's different, but I know that's what worked for me right off the bat. And that's what I've seen work for many other couples as well. So
Yeah,
I get
I don't know. I believe that a man who is in it is going to assume that responsibility, right? He's
oh, that's
going.
what you yeah.
Yeah, a man who wants to be married to a woman. And when I say assume that responsibility, I don't mean pay 100% of everything. I mean, he's going to assume the responsibility of saying, this is what makes sense for us. that's the responsibility he's going to assume. Like, okay, I'm going to pay 70% of this and I need you to pay 30%. Like, he's going to map that out. He's going to do that. He's not going to say, well, what should I split? No, he's going to, and if he needs help with that, then he's going to say to her, hey, I'm not good in this area, but I need you to sit down and do this for us because we need to know what the plan is, and help me with this, or, go to a financial planner or whatever the case may be. If you don't feel like you're equipped to do it. But a man who is going to go into marriage is going to know what he's going to do with his finances and what you're going to do with your finances, because they are going to become his finances. So I couldn't imagine him not having that train of thought going in.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
like I
Before you
said,
respond, hold on, Vax. I'm sorry. Hey, Takey, thank you so much. Thanks for becoming a member. Thank you so much. Okay, you go ahead.
Nah, like I said, I agree with you. But like I said, also before even the marriage thing, there's still just a test to see if that person is the right person. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, as far as the money stuff goes, like, yeah, of course that's gonna be discussed. But for me personally, like I said, you're not my wife. I'm not doing husband duties for nobody that's not my wife. Because you can be here today and you can be gone tomorrow. Point blank, period. Like it is what it is. If you're my wife, of course I'm gonna make sure that you're the most comfortable woman ever. Maybe I have to deal with all the BS, that comes with the territory of making you my wife. But at the same time, like, yeah, like, like I said, finances are a big thing, but it's just all about the communication that you have with your person. And just like you said, what happened?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, no, and just like you said, everybody's different. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I received what you all saying too. And like I said, this scenario is funny because, like I said, it's just girlfriend stuff. And I feel like some people expect the most when they haven't achieved walking down the aisle yet. Like I feel like some people got to slow down and relax. Like, I'm not giving them my all just yet. Like but that's just me though. I'm not like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yes. Hey,
what's up, brother?
What's up?
Hey,
How
Hank.
y'all doing this evening? How y'all doing?
Good. How are
Peace,
you?
brother.
Okay.
What's
What
up,
you
my
got
man?
to add to this topic?
Well, I mean, I guess I was gonna base off some of the things that everybody was saying, and then this post.
Okay.
With me, I'm not moving in with this woman unless she's got blessed with my last name. I'm not doing that at all.
Talk that talk, sir.
One of the reasons why, because I mean, like my man said, I agree. One of the things he said was, I need to see how you move, how you operate, and make sure you can maintain. That's very important to me. But I'm not paying a woman's bill unless she got my last name. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that at all, because I need to know what you all about. Are you in it for the right reasons? Are you in it just to get what you need to get? Now, once we get married, it's one pot for me. So we coming together on everything. If I'm gonna bless you with my last name, we're gonna bless each other with everything. So it's not gonna be her money, my money. She's making 40,000 if that's what she's making, and then she's still running off and digging to the account and getting what she wants. No, we're not doing that. We're gonna be already responsible, and I need to figure out why you only making 40,000. I need for you to get motivated.
Right.
Why aren't you motivated to make more than just 40,000? Why are you content on just making 40,000? I mean, and then you have time to do everything else, like get on social media. No, you got time to make maybe 80,000. Let's double your money, because if you got time to get on social media to be out hanging out with your friends, talk about going on girl trips that I know I'm not going to approve of, yeah, you're going to have to figure a way out. If that means we're going to need to get you some more certifications or training or education, whatever it takes, let's make it happen.
Right. Thank you. That's what I was trying to say. Like, this looks weird.
I agree, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, you help your lady
don't get
boss
blood.
up. Definitely.
So there's a question here from Brave.
Well,
Hey, what's up? How you doing? If you're paying 100 now, what's wrong with 50?
Hello. Hey, they be ready to go 100 by themselves, but they won't go 50-50. It's crazy. I don't get it.
Well, there's ladies who they want to be traditional as far as wanting the man to provide, but they're not being a traditional lady for a man to provide for. And that's where it's weird. You can't have both. It's one or the other. And if you decide to work, then your money needs to contribute. It doesn't need to go to just your purses and the women who wear weaves and a lot of makeup, because those are very expensive. It needs to go to what the family, everything that's in the house, couches, whatever, anything that makes the house and the financial stability stronger. That's where it needs to go. So that's where I see it's a disconnect. But what my point today is, why are men agreeing? I wouldn't say they're agreeing. They're kind of like, women are saying, I want equality. And then men are saying, all right, here you go. This is your equality. It's like, at first they were trying to make a point, but now it's like they want them to have equality too, because that's what they're asking for. So when you come to a relationship and you say, I want 50-50 as a man, to me, that's kind of already giving them what they want, is equality. Why do men do that today? If any man on here could answer that question.
Hank, you want to answer that?
Yeah,
You need to hang out. I know what Hank got to say.
I don't believe in calling a woman a partner. That's the first thing. When you call them a partner, that already thinking 50-50. Back in my time, when we call them, say they partners, that means they two lesbians, two gay men.
Shit.
We call them lifetime partners because they're equal. Man and woman are not equal. We've never been equal. We wasn't created to be equal, and that's cool.
That's a fact.
Just because we was created the same way doesn't make us equal. You have your job, whatever the Most High designed you to do, and I have my job as whatever the Most High designed me to do. So we can't be equal. So it won't be no 50-50. Like I said, it's one pot. We're gonna invest both our money into. And even if I was the one making $140,000 and she makes $108,000, she's going to be in agreement to this one pot, because I'm gonna lay out the game plan prior to me blessing with my last name. I need to know how you feel about this theory that I'm presenting to you. Now, if you can't rock with it, I understand. I respect that, and I'm gonna move on. I'm not gonna adjust on that. I'm not gonna move on that. So us as men, we have to have whatever standards it is, and you can't move it. It's not adjustable. You can't adjust on certain standards. You cannot.
That's right. World Class, what's up?
What's up? Peace to the channel, the panel, the chat. Lady Da, Real Precious, Vax, Hank, what up?
Hola.
Peace.
What's up,
going on? I think to the question, I think a lot of I think they think they're being slick by kind of trying to get chicks to beat themselves in the situation. I understand the game plan. It's like a long-term game plan to get them to, okay, this is what you want. It's kind of what you do as a parent. Oh, you sure this is what you want? Okay, go ahead. But I think it's a waste of time. And I think there's a portion of young men that really believe that it should be 50-50. I think I call them transaction ships. That's what we're doing. I think people have a consumer mindset when it comes to relationships, and it's not going to work. It'll never work because most people are financially illiterate, so they'll also be internally illiterate as well. And it just the body and the brain and the spirit don't work like a over-the-counter transaction. So it's a kind of tick for tat strategy. I think people don't count out, and I've done finances years ago, and people really don't be thinking about it. And I see the same thing, like they don't think it through, and I see the same thing happening with this. So I think guys should really get to the point where you're qualifying what a woman says that she want, where does she get it from, and why. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the better strategy to take, so she can be clear. If she's genuine and you kind of hash it out and put it in front of her. If she's genuine, she'll be able to see it, and then that's not a conversation you'll have to have in the future. But they're not looking at it from that perspective.
Yeah, it's like they're not thinking it all the way through. Because it's like, my question is like, do you think that tactic will fix the issue, right? So kind of eliminating that equality stuff, or is it going to make it worse? Because it's like you giving them what they want. Okay, cool. Now everybody is feel like they equal. What is that gonna do for the society?
You know what, the thing that I don't like, the reason I don't like it is because it's not going to do either. It's a lateral move. It's not going to make it better. It's not going to make it worse. And it's like you just really pissing in the wind, wasting time. Because all she's going to do is just put it back on you for you to do it anyway. Like, you shouldn't have let me do it. You know what I'm saying? That's all she's going to say. And then you're like, you the man, you supposed to do this. Well, you might as well just make the decision right now. That's why I speak against it, because you're not really going to get anything from it. It's not going to speed it up. It's not going to slow it down. You're just wasting time.
That's right.
Right. You'll get earlier satisfaction, but at the end of the day, it's gonna come back on you. So why even go through with it when you already know that it's a crash and burn operation?
Yeah, I think processing the information that's being brought. Like, I don't watch TV, so I'll be more likely to be surprised on what the hell is a new fad or what she won or whatever. I started watching TV in 2007, so my mindset is always to process. Why do you want what you want? Where did you get it from? And then they'll know. Yeah, if I'm talking to a noble, world class, if I ask him this, if I say I want this, he gonna ask me this, and I'm not even gonna ask him. So, you know what I mean? That eliminate the process from the beginning. Or it's like, if she gets something good from it, she's like, shit, let me ask him, because he always know what's going on, and then have that type of dynamic. Versus, like, as a man, like I agree with, I don't agree with that, the one pot thing, but I agree with Hank in terms of, if this is my woman, I'm taking care of my woman. It's not doing no 50-50 shit. Because that shit just doesn't make any sense. And she's going to give that other 50% of herself to another nigga eventually. And I don't think that's going to work out in your favor. So, you know, I want you to know that you can come to me and we can get problem solved. You know what I'm saying? And we not only, here's the mindset again, kind of looking at it from a financial standpoint. When we talk like any other business and powerful execs, we need to be having a profitable conversation. So she should be looking, the foundation is her to look to me to have a conversation where things are going to improve. You know what I mean? And that's what I look forward to.
Before anybody respond, excuse me, sir, you talking about you don't believe in one pot? Which you?
No, I don't think, but see, I'm not like the I'm probably not the perfect person, because I don't think a woman, I don't really think you should tell you, as a man, I don't think you should tell your woman everything. And I think the things that you don't tell them, that needs a access for resources where she's not bothered. But I don't knock the premise. I do understand it. I do get it. You do want to be that close with your wife where you can tell her everything, but I just don't see that. It has more to do with how I grew up.
That's the unspoken underground YouTube that he just brung out. You know,
Yeah.
I think that's what that is. Because I kind of agree with that. Like, I don't want to know. I don't have to know everything financially when it comes to the man, but you also have to trust someone that you know that they'll be able to figure it out. Because I think women, and I'm only saying that because when women know too much, they think they know a lot. They think they know everything. And so, you know, you're managing and you're help regulating, as a man is help managing and help regulating certain things when they don't tell everything. And I'm not saying be deceitful or lie, but I think it's like how World Class worded it, you know, that you have that cushion and you know that you have that cushion. And you're not being deceitful or lying about that. You just have it because you know you're a provider and that, you know, you have that, but your woman know that you're a provider too. But again, when women know too much, they're gonna start asking for more. They're gonna start. It's just the nature of women. And like, oh, you got more? I'm gonna ask for more. Oh, he got it. He got it. And it's like, no, girl, no, I don't. But you know,
I've never been in a situation where I've told a woman a lot of stuff and it helps the situation. She just worries more. But my pain tolerance for threatening information is not going to be the same as hers. You know what I'm saying? Like you, why you ain't tell me this before? Like that doesn't bother me. Like I'm not worried about it. I have history dealing with that. So I just don't think a woman needs to know everything, especially your wife. Right? Don't need to know the horrible things, like, because you don't know. You don't know what may happen. I think there needs to be a pool of resources there, so she's not bothered. But I say that when I say I'm not with it, that doesn't mean I'm against it. Like I understand Hank saying, "Look, we in this together," because literally nothing he says about it is wrong. It's just I think how I've been brought up, and I know how sticky things can get. You just need to move, and I don't. It's certain things I can't possibly think I tell a woman. You know what I mean? That's just me. It's a me thing more so.
Yeah, I don't think women need to have escape plans. I think men need to have like, you know, I need to go here plan. Like I need this backup. Like, you know, in case for the family. I think it's the opposite. I think when men have an extra account or more money, it is part of a safety net for women, for the family. But when women have extra account or they're hiding money, is for their exit plan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So a man shouldn't necessarily have to expose what the safety net is in case you hit a code red and you need to use those funds. Whereas women, they're not thinking about emergency funds for the family. They're thinking about emergency funds for
themselves.
Yeah.
But see, like the points y'all making make sense. But honestly, I'm gonna say that y'all speaking out of fear, and this is why. Me and my husband, right? Well, I'm different. Y'all know this. I'm different in the sense of I don't think like I guess the women that you're saying they're gonna be like, oh, I want more money. I'm not like that, right? But the bank account that me and my husband share, because we do that one pot system too, we have a bank account and it has like 7 accounts in it. We all can see, right? So that emergency fund that y'all talking about, we got that. I just don't touch it because I can't, right? He said don't touch it. All right, I ain't gonna touch it. We gonna touch this over here, you know? So I think it's kind of like you gotta make sure your lady is able to be disciplined, because that's what it is. It's discipline. I'm pretty sure there's times where I'm like, my kids need this, I need this. I'm about to go on Amazon and I want to spend $1,000. But because I have respect for my house and I have respect for my husband, I don't touch that pot. That's what I'm saying. I think that what needs to happen is women and men need to get together and build a strong foundation of trust. You should know that your lady is not going to touch it because you said so, right? She understands not because you said so, but it's because it's a reason. We need this because we're trying to, buy our dream home, or we need this because I want to go invest in a property, or you want to, buy a new microphone for your podcast or whatever, right? And then if she needs something, it's the same thing, but having that mutual respect where you can have that conversation. It seemed like I've seen couples like what y'all talking about. They don't even have the conversation because it's going to be an argument. You can't tell me what to do with my money, but it's not about that. I think both needs to be disciplined, and y'all should be able to talk about, I want to go buy a motorcycle, and discuss it and be like, okay, is it the right time right now? If it is, do it. If not, can we wait until the summer? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why can't we get along in that aspect to have a one pot? That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, I like I said, there's go ahead, Hank. Go ahead.
What I was going to say, I understand why people feel like what me and Lady Di's talking about is unusual, strange, or crazy. They just can't fathom. Well, the reason why she needs to know, because she needs to know. First, there's a lot of reasons why. There's certain tests that I put into place before I allow my lady to know and do all of this. So I keep like $1,000 worth of ones in my house. And she knows it. She knows exactly where it is. But she knows me how anal I am. I count my shit every day because I don't trust banks. I check banks every day. But she has every access. That's what my wife is going to have. Every access to everything. It's not going to be no hidden fund, runaway fund, getaway, escape, rainy day fund. We're not doing that. Because it's all about what's up front. Now, if you give me your body, you allow me and you naked head. But you worry about that paper. So your health is less important than that money. Then your mindset is a problem for me because I need you for the longevity, not for 20 years. I want you for the rest of your life. You understand what I'm saying? I want 27 years or better out of this situation. That's what I'm striving for. That's what I want. And for those who don't know, that's the retirement age for a lot of companies. You do 27 in the government or state, you get retirement. That's what I'm looking for in my wife. So she has access to everything. It's not nothing like she had, like Lady Di was saying. I know what people say, one pot, it's one. No, we diversify our money. Our money's all over where they need to be at. We invest where we need to be at. She has access to everything. It's not no problem. So it's like I said, if something happens to me, she needs to be to get to that money to take care of what she needs to take care of, to maintain until he gets back on his feet. And vice versa. She knows when we come together, we're going to make a big purchase, we're going to have a come to Jesus meeting and conversation. Now, at the end of the day, I got to make the deciding factor whether we're going to make the purchase or not. I got to make the deciding factor. If I trust my woman enough, she trusts me enough, she knows she has no problem with that. So if I tell her, look, there's a thing we're going to come up short on, she knows that I'm that man that I'm going to make sure we're going to get it. That means I need to go out there and get a second gig to offset, to make more money. And then she knows it's going to be taken care of because she trusts me enough. I'm going to put that in her to trust me enough that I'm going to come through. I'm not going to fail. I'm not going to fail this family. I wouldn't allow it. I'm not going to fail myself, let alone the family.
Okay. Yeah, and it just all comes down to trust. That's just what I'm getting from it. You got to be able to have that type of relationship. It's hard though. I'm not going to say it's the easiest thing in the world. Like women will come and take all you got, and if when they leave you, they're going to try to take all you got. So I get the safety net. And then there's women that's saying, hey, he could leave me, or he may cheat, all these type of things. So I'm going to leave. So they want to have that extra money so they won't be, in a shelter. So I get both sides, but I just don't like that we have to live in that type of what if, I think we all just set ourselves up to be okay regardless if she could see the money or not. But I hear what you guys are saying.
Well, it's like I don't disagree with anything that y'all saying about the value of the one pot, because what's more important than the one pot is that open habit of trust, and that communication and that habit of it, because that's way more important than everything, because that transmutes into other areas of life, as a couple and as a family. So I'll never speak against it, because when you're willing to take that risk, then that makes it valuable. But I think in this climate today, I think that is the big issue that you spoke on, Lady Di, is that we don't trust each other, at all. And the trust level is really low. And I think we're going to have to, I know for a fact we're going to have to take risks like that. So I think it goes back to what I was asking you ladies last week, I think, is with respects to this topic, how well do women risk assess? Because if a guy like myself, if I'm at let's say extreme level of risk, I've dealt with extreme level of risk, and like the moderate average woman has not. How I look at things, anything that happens in life can affect our money. So if she looks at it and she doesn't have that exposure, what can I do? Like, she don't have that exposure. She don't know that she's never took those tactics. She don't have that protocol. It could stress her out, and she's going to stress me out. You know what I'm saying? So what is a man to do? I guess even I would like Hank to ask that too. What is a man to do in that situation where he's questioning the woman's risk assessment? Let's just, if we can just keep it to, I guess, finances. That I think that probably make it simpler. For him to, because I'm not literally talking about financial literacy, but I'm talking about the risk assessment of women and what can he do to help her get to, y'all end to the one pot concept.
As far as what I did, first things first, I gauge, was she a materialistic type woman? Because I know if she was a materialistic type woman already, it's going to be a problem. I'm not even going to have to talk about the one pot concept or conversation with her. I ain't going to need to go no further because her mindset is all about what she likes. She got to have the newest and finest things. Now, if she's a non-materialistic woman, or she likes nice things but willing to try to find the deal, she'll go to a discount store or find a discount same purse, brand purse, but maybe it's 2 seasons ago. You know what I'm saying? So cool. Okay, well she's got something. Let me present this to her. And so I present it to her and see what she thinks about it. I watch her reaction. I like I said, conversations like this, you don't do over the phone. You need to do it in person because I need to see your facial, your body language. All that's going to tell me everything. If I tell you that on the phone, your face all turned up, you stink face, but I don't know it. And you just like, okay, yeah. You agreeing, but inside you like, hell no, this Negro's crazy. No, I want to do it in person, so I need to know exactly how you're gonna respond when I present it to you. And I'm gonna lay it out to you. Like I said, by the third date, I'm gonna know your credit score. So I need to know how you move, how you stand, where you go with it. So I'm gonna definitely educate her. This is how I move. This is the philosophy I believe in. Are you with it? And those are one of those standard questions that I won't move on, that I stay on, and those are the eliminator type questions. When you talk about finance, that's one of our primary things. We don't talk about finances enough. We don't talk about money enough, even though it can hurt relationships. It can cause divorce in relationships, our marriages. But yet we are scared to talk about it. We don't talk about it until we're actually married or when it's time to get married. That's when we start having a financial conversation. No, that's way too late. We need to talk about it during the vetting phase. That's when it needs to come up.
Yeah, and I'll answer. I just tell you what my husband did. He actually took it to the extreme. He put me on one of his credit cards when we were in a relationship. Now so he's been in a life where he already risked everything. He was married before. So he has experience as far as knowing something being taken from him. So at that point in his life, he didn't really care because I guess he knew how to fix it later. But yeah, so he put my name. I think we were in a 2.5-year relationship at this point. He put my name on one of his major credit cards, and he wanted to see how I was going to handle that. So what I did, which I was already doing before, was I was asking him anytime I bought anything, it could have been damn Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, it didn't matter. Can I use this card? Because I felt like it didn't belong to me. Even though I had my name on it. But yeah, so he was like, I was asking, can I buy this? So that's just what I did. So he was testing me to see how I would handle it. And the point is you have to test them somehow. Now I don't know if I would recommend you doing something like that because that's extreme. But it worked out for me because at the end of it, because he cared about me in that manner, he actually was helping my credit score at the same time. I just didn't know. I didn't know how that worked at that moment. But you want to be able to test your lady to see how she handles things in the toughest moments. And to me, I don't think a couple should get married until those things are discovered. You got to discover how she is uncomfortable. And if you can't, if you don't see it, don't marry her yet. You don't know if she's ready, because that's how you know if she's going to stay or leave you. If she can't handle financial issues and can't work together to get things accomplished or be humble, be polite, respectful, then that's not the one. And if you're going to wait until you get married to see if she's going to do it, then that's the wrong time. So the answer to that is test your lady with everything you got. However that works,
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
And it will bring it out.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. But then we go back to that conversation of like, well, does that mean we're living together and splitting the rent? Like, you know what I mean? I don't think people know how to navigate, well, what are we testing and how am I testing you? So a lot of those things will come in the dating phase, but I'll go back again. It's the man's responsibility to want to do that, to be that leader, right? He took it upon himself to say, you know what, let me put her on a card. Let me give her, this responsibility. And then he also was helping you. You didn't even know at the time. So that's a leadership quality, right? So those are the things that men choose to do, and they know that they're doing it. Hank, he has his $1,000. He leaves it around like, look, I know she money hungry. I know, right? This is a plan that he has in his head. And I think, with the topic of men following, they don't necessarily have those plans. And so it's easier to say, oh, I'm going to follow behind the modern chicks and they don't know what they want. And they give it up easy because that's easy. It's easy to follow behind somebody that's being a fool. But then you see two fools arguing, you don't know which one is a fool. They both look like fools. So, someone who's going to take on the responsibility is going to think ahead, and they're going to make provisions, and they're going to do tests to measure the risk or measure if the risk is even worth it.
Yeah. And basically, I don't think men, if you want to do 50-50 partnership because you want to do it, not because she or they are talking about it in the media, I want people to make their own decision based off what their wants are. And that's kind of what the topic of the video, of today's video is that I want men to be men. I want y'all to lead, because the equality thing is not going to work. We are different for a reason. So however you feel leading looks like for a man, I'm not a man. I can't really say how to do that, but I just know what it looks like. But I still don't know the whole thing, right? Because I'm not that. But I do see that men today, it's like they're becoming more like a lady. It's like they're following their lead. They're following what women want only, and they're forgetting about themselves. And I don't think we should do that. I think we need to set and y'all put y'all foot down on what you believe in, and you find a lady, or you could teach a lady, however it works, because a lot of us never grew up in a society where it's traditional. Okay, the millennials and everything, we ain't grow up like that.
Well, that I was actually gonna say, I think sometimes the first step in leadership is knowing that you know nothing, because then you can be led. And I think sometimes fear gets in the way of a man just saying, I don't know how to do this, or I need to get under someone who knows how to do this, or I need to seek knowledge on this. And there's nothing wrong with doing that. But some people just don't have that safety net that they can go to say, hey, I don't know how to do this. Or they don't have that uncle or that grandfather or whoever to say, hey, look, you slipping, you're going in the wrong direction. They don't have it. They literally just go the easy route. And you have, some social media pages, Black Men Heal, Lapeef has the Kings Talk, and there are men's panels and things like that to help men. But a lot of this stuff needs to be hands-on with men. Men are hands-on. And I think that if more men would admit to not knowing certain things and just be downright open and honest about it, that would definitely help, because a lot of men don't know, just like a lot of women don't know. They don't know how to be wives. They don't know that, men should be served before the kids. They think it's an abomination. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there are certain things that need to be taught if you want to indulge in the activity of marriage and relationship.
It's all about
I think,
seeking.
a lo-
Go ahead, Workman.
I think a lot of men, again, I'm like a freaking anomaly, but a lot of men have been convinced by this pseudo society to not be aggressive, to not be themselves, to not take risk. It's systematic, and it's showing up in relationships because, like what Precious said, start for them to start to admit what they don't know. But a lot of them know enough already. You already know how to create a situation from thin air. It takes violence. It takes blunt force trauma. If you want to move something that isn't moving, it takes a lot of force. It takes friction. If you want something that's not moving to move, you got to cause friction. And they've been socially engineered to not cause friction. They don't want to be the bad guy. One man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter. You got to be willing to be the bad guy in a world that you don't belong in. And if it's this world that we don't belong in, we the bad guy. That's why I take the role. So you got to at least. We always want more. We always want to know more. But how well are you using what you do know? And they don't use what they do know well enough. And then that poisons the new things that they do get. So I think that's the thing that men have to focus on more than anything. All this new information, these statistics here, is how well are you using how much do you know what you already are? And when you find out what that is, then you can join the rest of us.
That's deep.
That is, the Lord said you better use what's in your house. What's in your house? Like, that brought me back. He's right. How you using what you doing with what you got? That's a good point.
Amen.
But it's like people just need to seek the information. I don't think people are seeking it, because even if you don't have the support in your house, there are strangers that will help you out. But you're not going out there to get it. Even let's say you have a job. I know there's at least a few guys in that place that can help you out with some information. That's all it starts with, is information. But I think with Precious saying that some guys are taking the easy way out, they already got a girlfriend and they're going to ask their lady. You don't ask your lady for that type of stuff. You need to go find a dude, a guy, to help you in that manner. So yeah, we gotta, I don't know, I guess it's kind of like we gotta make sure that we as a people, like even for us, let's say me and Precious, there are women out here that are going against traditional anything. Like they don't want it. But that's like me and Precious being like, yeah, we're gonna do that too. Because that's like majority now. No, I think you still gotta use common sense. It's not working. And it's like people not thinking about that. Is that it doesn't work. Look at the society. Look what is happening right now. People can't get into relationships, and the one that gets into relationships, they're getting divorced. So if that's not working and we're all about family and marriage, then we need to change something. It's kind of like they throwing out all these problems, but they not thinking about how can I help with a solution. They're trying to find a solution, but do you have one?
Exactly.
In your community, in your town, in your house,
Mm-hmm. What's
So,
that? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like y'all was saying, I believe, and I always say this: elder men should be teaching the younger men. Elder women should be teaching the younger women. That's how it should. That's where you should get your information from. Hopefully, the elder men and elder women that you're learning from have some sense about it, and make sure you vet these women and these men that you're getting this knowledge and information from. Make sure they're on the up and up. Don't take information from a fool. You know what I'm saying? Because now you're wasting your time, because they don't know no more than you. So now you're going against the grain. Makes no sense. But definitely, I'm all about educating and learning and inquiring. And the old slogan you said from where I'm from: a squeaky wheel get the grease. You know, the only way you're gonna find out this information, you got to ask, you got to inquire about, it, you got to do the research, you got to be willing
Yeah.
to let your pride go and ask the question. Look, it's not going to make you look bad or any type of way if you ask questions because you just don't know. Don't sit there and wait for somebody else to ask a question and hope they ask the question that you're looking for. No, ask questions yourself. Even if that means I need to pull you to the side and say, hey, man, you know, I know you was talking about this, but I want to know. I didn't want to, you know, say it out loud, make me look like I didn't know. Well, I'm not going to judge you. I understand. I didn't know. So only way I learned because I asked questions. So, guys, I got to get ready to go. But I appreciate this. Lady Diane, real pressure. Y'all keep doing your thing. World class. You ain't shit, but I'll see you later. Right on.
I'm sorry, you still light skin.
Have a good night.
I'm sorry, you still light skin. I hope you fix that. All right.
Hey, all right, Hank, you gotta go. Oh wait, yo, you was another one. All right.
Yeah.
You gotta be on that show too.
No, I don't know what show he's gonna do. He famous around these parts. But I'll say this: it goes to what Precious was saying about men admitting it, and it goes to what Hank was just saying, admitting what you don't know. Sure. Use a personal story on how it works. I used to be about 220. I'm 5'11", so I used to be 220. So I used to do 100 push-ups, like first thing in the morning. I did all that. I've lived like that. Then I had my favorite girl in the world was my grandmother. So she got sick with cancer, and she died in 2005. So this is where becoming a man starts, and this is where this stuff applies. I realized all those 100 push-ups was not going to kill my grandmother's cancer. I was not good enough to stop her from dying. Conversations like that had to happen. I wasn't good enough. I didn't have enough. I didn't know enough about being healthy. So all them 100 push-ups was cute. It sound good. It could get attention from women. It would probably deter a man, but my favorite person, I couldn't keep him here long enough. So this is how the truth sounds. So I had to change my behavior and my knowledge base to be able to involve myself in prevention of things like that and elimination of things like that. Those are the type of things that a man has to accept at a painful level, that maybe, and with that language that will allow you to, because since this is a man conversation, be worthy, be good enough, and stop being afraid of these words, irrespective of what's going on TV. Like I said, I stopped watching TV, so I don't buffer anything. I don't put a cushion for anything because I'm a man. I'm my dad's son. I'm my mom's oldest. I'm my dad's oldest living child. So I don't have that. It's me or it's nobody else. So I have to get smart enough and strong enough to do whatever it is that needs to be done. And I don't have no sensitivities about that. Men need to be that honest. I didn't know enough, so I studied and I learned and I help prevent these diseases, and I can help get rid of them now. You have to start with, I don't know how to do something. I don't know how finances work. And I think a lot of guys do need credit and respect for what they are doing and going, hey, bro, I don't know. People in this space have hit me, hey, bro, how you help me get, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how to do that. How do you get healthy like that? Oh, here you go. Bam, 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 bam. Then we can go from there. So it starts there. I know the gender war is up and running, but I'm one of the people that think it's always going to be on the men, and know ye the truth, and the truth shall make you free. You'll be made free if you just accept the truth. It hurts in the beginning. It sucks. All new information that's true, it hurts. It always hurts. It's always inconveniencing. It always lets you know that you're not good enough. You need to learn and stop being sensitive about that. That's a blessing, because there's somebody or somewhere that already has what you need to be good enough already there. You should be thankful for that.
Words of wisdom. Thank you so much for sharing that. And pretty sure the men who are listening could learn from you, because not everybody's in that space to have that mindset, and that's kind of what this live is about. So I'm glad you did join to share, because we're just two ladies, trying to share what we see, our experience, and kind of like, hey, nah, that's not right, but who's gonna fix it? So yeah, you and Hank and the other guy Vax, I'm glad you guys stopped by and everything.
Definitely.
But we're gonna do this again on next Wednesday, and so thank you so much, World Class. We appreciate
Thank you, World Class.
You all are so welcome. Y'all know I appreciate y'all. I love what y'all doing in this space. Y'all definitely bring value to the space. And all this complaining they do, they need to be their butts over here listening to y'all. Because they, guys are giving information that men and women need. Y'all are precisely what these men are asking for, and they need to get their hind parts over here. Y'all been doing amazing on the different platforms that y'all been on in your respective platforms. So I appreciate you.
Oh yes.
Yeah, if you need me.
Thank you.
All right, peace.
Bye.
Bye. We gonna start shaking it up on these shows too. Y'all just wait and see. Y'all just wait and see. We got some things, shaking.
Yes, we
Some
do.
things shaking.
There's a question I wanted to bring up that I saved. So Matt Washington, thanks again. Says Lady Di and Precious, did y'all meet through Lapeef or did y'all know each other before the panel? So good.
We met through. Actually, it wasn't Lapeef. I believe it was Mr. Let Go and the group we were in, or was it Michelle?
No,
And
it was another content creators page, Chantel.
Oh, Chantel, you're right. Okay, yes. It's almost like how was the first date?
Yes.
It was Chantel's page. We did a collab and I really liked your energy and I reached out to you and I was like, we gotta do something. You gotta come on my page. And so then we collabed and then we started doing Lapeef together. And Mr. Let Go, that whole crew or whatever. Yeah, and then I do remember that. No, you seem so down to earth. I was like, oh, she just seems so down to earth. We should do a collab together.
Yes.
And I just really liked your energy.
Yes, I remember that. It was crazy. Yeah, that was a good show at that time.
And I felt bad because I think you were Chantel's guest, and I was like, I feel like I stole her. Is that how this work out here? Like, I was like, I feel like I'm infiltrating on the person that she brought on her show, but I really like her energy, so I'm gonna reach out.
I'm glad you did, and that's what it's about. Reaching out to people you feel the energy match.
Yeah,
relationship, friendship, it don't matter. Because that was like a year.
Another. It's crazy like how God works because I've been on social media for a long time probably since 2017, but on YouTube I go by my middle name. But I had a podcast and the girl that I did the podcast with, me and her played basketball together. We went to high school together, but she was like light skinned. And so I said, I feel like I have, and that was my show. I was her co-host. And so, we're on your channel and, I'm your co-host. I was like, I feel like years later, what I was doing in 2017 has now just elevated.
That's crazy.
So, but yeah, I've been doing this for a while, but it just brought me back to that of how, everything under the sun has a season. And we may not know what the purpose of the season is, and we may not, be agreeing with what's going on in the season, but it's working together for something else and maybe another time or another season. So we got to keep that in mind as we are, trying to influence people to do better as we're, men are becoming better men because, there are Black women who believe in them and Black women who are supporting them because that's not what they're seeing. Yeah. So it may get, they saying, well, don't get weary. It gets a little weary, but at least we definitely try to show up. We definitely try to work together, come together for the betterment of, our community. So I appreciate you for inviting me, to do the show with you. I also believe that we both have hearts that are in it.
Yeah.
So if like it works, you could tell when somebody not really in it or they don't really mean it, because it shows up in how they show up, and I believe we do try to show up for each other as much as we can. So I appreciate you.
That's true. Cause I think it's been a year or less, maybe a year.
Yeah.
And with me and friendship, I don't like to test anybody, but I like to
Mhm.
watch. And I
Right.
know for a fact, me watching you, very consistent, very loyal. Like you don't play no games. So I was like, yeah, that's the one right there. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I have to ask her. Like,
Yeah.
this needs to happen. So
Yeah.
I'm
I
glad
think they like us. I think they like us, you know.
they do.
Now let us know.
Yes.
But honestly, to tell you the truth, I get so many compliments with our show, the panels that we're on. So many people that don't comment in the chat that will comment on my DM or will put something underneath of a post, you know. So y'all ask for this, okay? Y'all ask for that.
Yeah, so it's important that me and Precious do a live together because even though, because I at first, me doing a wife show, Precious is not a wife, but she's wife-like, okay? So she's gonna get married one day to a great man, and we gonna get her there. But what I'm saying is, even though she's not a wife, I love the type of lady she is, and this is what not just me. I just want to show why I invited her is because I want to show women like her that are in this space that are not fake, and that comes from a well-rounded background. So it's important that we get together because I'm a wife, so I kind of got what I want in that space. But there's ladies out here that are single that can't get it. They look at me and be like, "Oh, she already got it." They may not look at me as an inspiration, right? They may look at Precious because she doesn't have it right now, but she is able to still be feminine. She's able to still have a certain class for herself without a man next to her. And that's what we trying to show is like, you don't need all that. You need to show who you are and be a great person. You need to be wife-like to get this man. They just not gonna come falling off the tree. So we are collabing and we're gonna continue this every Wednesday around 7-ish. Okay. Because
7-ish.
things be happening. But yeah, that's it. Today. Look, I never know how to end the show, but we're
I
gonna
appreciate the guys for coming up because like I said last show, there are our leaders. And so for them to come up and give their experience and give their perspectives really shows that there are, people that support the show and they're definitely a part of, trying to change the narrative as well. But again, like you said, we're just two women trying to, be there for the community. So I always appreciate when the guys dedicate their time because they don't have to, right? Like men don't have to do anything, but they choose to. So I appreciate you guys for doing that.
Yes. But before we get up out of here, I want to read some of the chat. I haven't done it, but I do want to get just some of the comments and then we could go. Okay, let's see what we have. So we have Jamal. Thank you for being here. He says the rainbow and the pride agenda getting more traction than value systems. Common sense. Yes.
Ain't lying.
What's up, Lauren Mack? How are you doing?
Hey, Lauren. She's funny. She's somebody else I feel like I could connect with in real life too. Like, she has a good sense of humor. I feel like we be cracking up all the time.
Facts, I agree. You need people like that personality around.
Yeah, like somebody that has that lighthearted, like, oh.
Right. Yes, Lauren. She says perfection ain't easy. It's not. It's not.
Perfection ain't possible, child. So go easy, okay? Shit. Perfection is not possible.
Exactly. That's a good point. We have OM says I'm watching live from Liberia, West Africa.
Well, welcome. Thank you for watching.
And all my overseas viewers, thanks for coming in. What's up, Bella? Bella, if you don't know who Bella is, she has her own channel. Make sure you
some content creator, yes.
content creator. Yeah, she teaches women how to be wives. She has like a wifey resume. So
Mhm.
go ahead and check that out. And we have YMCYBF.
GSMB. Hola, hola, hola.
Hello, O'Shea. Thanks for being here. He says, folks out here marrying strangers. I heard 2 content creators say it makes much sense. Strangers equal, I think that says equals those that they did not grow up around and or knowledge of family history.
Mm. A stranger. See, ooh, that's gonna have to be another show. You know, for me, it's funny because for me being, I always said I don't want marriage to feel like getting adopted again.
That's deep.
Yeah, like I don't want like I want to know the real you. Like I don't want it to feel, you know, fake or forced. I want to really feel like I'm home with you. So being a stranger, it would take, if you were total stranger, it would definitely, you know, take some miracle working power because we would have to connect. Like, you know what I mean?
That's deep, yo.
We would really have to connect.
That's very deep. That should be alive now. We got to make that alive.
Yeah, we could definitely make that alive because that's how I came up with my be real with yourself so you could be real with others. Because if you've never been adopted or in foster care, like you wouldn't know how it feels or how it's almost like if you have kids right now and you told your child to pack up their stuff in a black plastic bag and they just go live with, you know, these people, and now they're like, okay, I'm in this house with these strangers, like what's up? Do I have to sleep with one eye open, one eye closed? Then you have, you know, the you have a past, so you're fighting between the past. It's a lot. So I think that would be a good live because even people who are born biologically in their family don't know how to keep it real with themselves or fear of insulting or offending their family. So not biologically being from one was a little bit more difficult because, you know, you felt like I felt like I had to be perfect, and it was like I got to be me. Like I have to be myself, even though that's not you, you know? So I think people fear doing that for fear of hurting other people's feelings, and you got to be real. You just have to be real.
Yes. So I'll share my thoughts on that when we do that live because I do have thoughts on it and I do understand what that guy is saying. But yeah, Kasim, thanks so much for stopping by, sharing your insight. Who else? We have Aaron. Hey, Aaron says, greetings, analysts. Peace to the chat. I see 4 of my faves up there, and the combo sounds terrific and much needed as I type. I suppose it's best I pull up a chair and listen. Yes, thanks for being here. We have Bria. Hey, Bria.
Hey, Bria.
She's also a content creator. She is very popping on Instagram, showing how she be making them cinnamon rolls from scratch and all.
All right, now.
Married with kids. Check her out.
I just saved some posts. It was banana pudding with not only the Nilla wafers but the Chesapeake. I said, you know what? I'm gonna save it because I mean I may not make it tomorrow, but I'm gonna make it.
Yeah, we got to get back to some of that homeschool cooking. So
yeah, every now and again, not all the time, but it's a nice treat. You know, I mean, you gotta see, but that's another show. Okay, women, you know, you got to try some things. You got to know how you are in the kitchen. I don't know how like you have to know how you are in the kitchen, and that takes making, you know, a few things and trying your hands at a few things, and you know, finding joy in doing it. I don't ever believe in cooking while you're mad. Don't ever cook while you're mad. Okay.
And that's another live. Thanks for for another topic. We got lives after lives with this. Should women be homemakers or at least learn how to do homemaker things, you know, still going to work? Miss Locks to Smile. Hey, thanks for being here. I went through several tests, but it did not work out in the end.
Mm.
Okay, so yeah, you got to test them out, and that's the point. If it don't work out, they weren't the one, if that's what you were talking about. What's up, Black Lexicon? 50-50 for that guy was less important than helping her level up her earning potential. Yes. We gotta help each other out. Even women. If your man is making less, and I'm talking about extremely less, not like a few thousand, you're making 90, he making 80. I'm talking about you making 90, he making 40. Okay, how did you get to 90? Get him up there. Like it's simple. Why would you that don't make no sense.
Give up the goods.
Like you a manager somewhere and he's not. Like let's learn. Let's say maybe he don't know how to be a manager, but teach him. Or vice versa. I think y'all gotta be able to. Yeah.
You gotta be able to say, "I don't know how. Can you help me?" I mean, that should be the first thing a woman say to a man. I don't know how. Can you help me? But most there's a questionnaire of what's the most hardest thing to say, and it's "I need help," and that's on man's side and woman's side.
Yeah.
Most people don't know how to say "I need help."
You don't know how to say it, just say it. Write it down, send an email, text it, something.
But it should be easy for us women. It should be easy, like, "Oh, I don't know how to do it. Can you help me?" Like that should be our go-to damsel in distress. But right, that should come off easy, off our lips easy. I can understand for a man, he may be holding on to that ego, but we all should be able to say, "I need help. Can you help me?" Or "I don't know. Can you help me?" But we don't do that, and we suffer in silence and regret it in the end.
We do. Sorry, my computer was dying. We do. Yeah. So I'm all about having that type of. So like, if I just feel like a certain conversation, like conversations where y'all can speak about things.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how I look at earning potential. I'm not saying you gotta be equal, but I like to use like the lowest. Like let's say you're ripping tickets at the movie theater. That's the lowest.
Right. Okay.
And then someone is a manager at Chick-fil-A.
Mm-hmm.
Like how are they gonna talk about things going on? You can't, because the person ripping tickets, they not on that same level of understanding.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So certain things it's important to level each other up.
And that's another thing. The Bible says don't be with a tight wad, right? And a lot of people may take that as, "Oh, she's trying to go after the money, and it's money, 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 money." And you also have to understand that men give in other ways, and a lot of times it's money, a lot of times it's time. But when a man gives wisdom that he doesn't have to give, that's another level of currency. And a woman should look at it as so, because he's teaching you a skill. He's teaching you how to be more productive. He's giving you more value, right? So,
right.
So when I read that verse, I'm not even thinking about money, because if the man is a good man, he know how to make money. He knows how to be resourceful. But is he being a tightwad with it? Is he not sharing that with me? Does he not want me to be at a certain level? But he sees the gifts, he sees the vision. So that's how I take that. So when you're vetting men, you don't want to see a man who is necessary. Most women just want a man that's just making it rain. But is he teaching you something? Is he leaving it, if God forbid, if it wasn't to work out, are you leaving with something that you can turn into value, like more value, if that was ever the case? But in the union, I would think that he wouldn't be a tightwad with information or resources or gifts. Of course, he's going to test you to see how you do. But if you pass those tests, I don't think a man would would hold those things back. But a tightwad would. A tightwad wouldn't want to help you get further along in value within the relationship. So I just want to put
Exactly.
that out there.
Exactly. And just like our guest earlier, our first guest, Vax, make sure you watch the replay. He mentioned that he want a lady that can help,
Mhm.
right? And I feel like if you're not helping her level up mentally, her education, everything that is going to help financially, because we all know ripping tickets at the movie theater is not going to cut it. It's not going to pay like mortgage, car notes. So you have to level her up. So if those things happen, she can go back and get that same type of job you have or something similar to help replace what you got going on. And those are just things happen. Life is crazy. So you got to make sure everything is set. So yes. Love C, what's up? What's up? Let's see who else we have. A lot of faces. Lady Navoa, hey girl. How you doing? Just didn't want to miss anyone. Let me see. I'm so behind, you guys. I'm so sorry. So let's see. We have Marcus with the super chat. Thank you so much, Marcus.
Thank you. Thank you.
Rachel,
Thank you.
everyone, this was a classic. Have a good night. We have O'Shea that sent $2. Thank you so much. And Marcus again. Y'all two are like Cole and Kendrick in
Cole
this.
and Kendrick.
Oh no, you did not compare us, to Cole and Kendrick. That is funny. Frenchie in the building. Thank you for being here. We got Coco Yoga. Is that what it is? How you doing? Yes. Okay. Who else we have? Yeah, you guys showed out tonight. We got John Sherrod. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. He said, I'm so sorry. Did not see you stop by. What's up?
Mr. He said,
Make sure
showing
you guys
love.
subscribe to their channel. Yes, him and his wife doing big things over there. They
Yep,
have their
always.
Sunday. Yes.
And they just had, we talk about people doing the work, right? So Mrs. She said just had a get together, and unfortunately I had family business to handle in Connecticut this weekend. But I would have loved that, to get together with the ladies and meet them in person. Did you go to Lady Di?
Yeah, I did
Did you go to-
go. I was able to attend. She actually doesn't live too far from me, so it actually worked out.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But yeah, she had an event to rebuild, kind of like ladies rebuilding and having conversations like this, just sitting down about talking about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, shout out to them. They're definitely working in the community as well. Being of service.
Yes. Frenchie says, I love what y'all doing though. You definitely have my support. Thank you. And Lauren Mack says, I am a great driver as long as someone takes my phone.
Oh my goodness. As long as does it got a good playlist? See if she can hold the aux cord.
Exactly.
Let's see who got
All right, y'all.
who gonna have the aux cord. Have a good night. We'll be back on Tuesday, 7-ish.
Yes, we will. So thanks for stopping by, you guys. This was a great stream, everybody who stopped by. And we are going to do this every Wednesday at 7-ish. Make sure you're here next Wednesday and bring in all of your comments, your questions. If you want a topic that you want us to talk about, DM us. I'm at Lady Di DTM, and the Real Precious
I am at Real Precious Official on Instagram. Real Precious Official.
Yes.
You can definitely we do get a lot of people who will like send videos and stuff. So definitely keep them coming. Keep them coming.
Yes. All right, y'all. Have a good evening.
Bye.